Hi everyone, Matt from Pre-Sales at NetSupport here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the different ways to view a desktop of a Chromebook from within classroom.cloud. Now, Chromebooks are quite unique within classroom.cloud as there's actually two different methods of viewing the desktop. Because of that, there's sometimes some confusion with our customers, so hopefully after watching this video you'll understand both methods and you'll be able to make a decision as to which one is most suitable for your environment. So to start with, if I just explain the two different methods we have for viewing the desktop of a Chromebook. The first one of these is the entire desktop view. So you will see the whole desktop of the Chromebook. Essentially what you're viewing is exactly the same thing as the user that's actually sitting there at that device. Now the second method is where we can just view the active browser tab. So you can see the contents of the active browser tab, but you have no visibility of anything else going on the Chromebook. Now you may be asking, why do we have the two different connection methods? If we can see the full desktop, why do we need just the browser view? And the reason for that is when viewing a full desktop of a Chromebook, Google require us to get permission from the user actually using that device. So they get a prompt appear on the screen that they have to acknowledge before we can see the full desktop. And for that reason, that's why we offer the second connection method, particularly if you're using your Chromebooks maybe with younger students and that prompt makes things a little bit more complicated. You've got the other method to fall back on if you would prefer, just to make the product a little bit easier for you to use with your students. So if we get started here, you can see that I'm already logged into my classroom.cloud portal. And in this tab here, I'm using Google's remote desktop software to connect to my Chromebook. So you'll be able to see what things look like from a student perspective. So if we jump back into the portal, and I'm going to start a class with my Chromebook in. So I just start that, give that a second to load up. So you can see there I'm connected to my Chromebook, and if I just make this thumbnail a bit larger, you can see I've got a browser open. I'm on the classroom.cloud website, but you can't see the tabs on the browser. You can't see the menu bar at the bottom of the desktop. So if we jump over to my Chromebook, you'll see that I've got this screen share prompt appearing on the device. Now, if you've got a student who decides they don't want to share their screen and just click on the cancel button, we basically keep rethrowing this prompt, so a student can't just cancel and dismiss that. The other thing that sometimes catches people out is you'll notice that this share button is greyed out, so I can't actually click on this at the moment. So in order to actually share my screen, what I need to do is click on the image of the screen. You'll see the button has become activated, and then if I click on share, a little prompt comes up just to inform the user they're now sharing their screen. And if we jump back to the Chromebook in the classroom.cloud web portal, you can see here I can now see that full Chromebook. So you can see the menu bar at the bottom there. I can see the tabs on the browser. So I'm seeing essentially exactly the same thing as the user logged into that device is seeing. Now this is the default connection method when connecting to a Chromebook. So if you've just purchased the software, or if you've just set up a trial and you haven't changed any of the configuration settings, you will have that prompt appear on the Chromebooks of your students when you connect to them with the teacher console here. So I'm just going to end my class. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how you can change that connection method to force it only to go into the browser view only. And the setting can be applied at one of three levels. So it can be done at organization level. So this will propagate down and affect all the devices within your organization. And the setting can be found under settings and in the device groups. And it's this disable Chromebook full desktop view setting that you want to toggle on to prevent the prompt from coming up. Now, if you're managing multiple sites from a single classroom.cloud portal, you can also select to apply that setting just to one or more sites. So these sites essentially are your schools. So if we pick on my Grange Hill school here, and again, if I go into device groups, no, I don't go into device groups. I go into settings, and then I go into device groups, and into the device group settings, and then you'll see again that same setting there. And then finally, you can actually apply the setting to one or more of your device groups. And this is quite useful if you want to have different settings for different devices. So maybe you've got quite a wide cohort of students. Perhaps you don't want the full desktop view and the prompt appearing for your younger students, but the older students are a little bit more sort of au fait with using the technology, and you're happy for them to have to acknowledge the prompt when you start the class. So that can all be done from the device groups here. So you can see all my device groups, and to change the setting for an individual device group, you just go into settings here, and we've got the disable the Chromebook full desktop view. So I'm just going to switch it on for the group containing my Chromebook. Save those settings. Now these settings will propagate down to the Chromebook straight away. However, I'm a little bit more old school. I prefer just to give the device a reboot, or in the case of a Chromebook, if you just log it out and log it back in again, it will refresh the settings. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to log out and log back in my Chromebook and reset up the desktop remote connection. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll see you all again in a moment. Welcome back. So the Chromebook is all rebooted. We've got a new remote connection there, so we can see what's going on the Chromebook. So let's launch our class again and see how things look now we've disabled the full desktop view. So you can see I'm connected to my Chromebook there, and if we jump to the Chromebook itself, you can see I no longer get the screen prompt to share my screen. It's just going to stick on the browser only view here. So if I just make this a little bit larger for you, so you can see I'm on the classroom.cloud website. I don't have any view of the tabs of the browser. I can only see the contents of the active web page. But if I just jump back here, if I switch to the Google web page here, you'll see that has changed there. Now, obviously, not being able to see the tabs, it can maybe pose a bit of an issue if a student's got something open maybe they shouldn't have. But do remember, with the web monitoring, you are able to see all the open tabs on a Chromebook. So if we just go to the web monitoring here, you can see that my active website is Google there, but we can also see I've got the Chrome Remote Desktop tab open, as well as the classroom.cloud website. So you can actually see all the tabs in this particular view if you need to. So hopefully this video has been useful. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.